another adventure. We're having a look at Culross today. Just a short look. It's just a small place, but it's lovely. I've got a bus from Glasgow to Kincardine. Now Kincardine's the start of the Fife coastal path, which runs from Kincardine all the way along the coast into Fife, East Neuk and up to St Andrews. It's an absolutely cracking walk, long distance walk. Take you quite a few days. So anyway, I mean, I've walked from Kincardine and we're just about to hit Culross. Spelt as Culross, but you say it as Culross. It's January and it's a Sunday, so any tourist attractions that are open to the public in Culross will, I would think, be closed, which is often the way these days in winter and on Sundays. But that's not to say the place isn't worth a visit, because it's absolutely beautiful. It's a place of narrow cobbled lanes that bend and twist, and it's just lovely, full of very old, trying to think, 16th, 17th century houses, crow-state gables and all that sort of thing, red pantiles, the works. Hello there.
Hello there.
Well, the track at the moment, I mean, the Fife coastal path from Kincardine, it really just sort of hugged the road. It was nice to be off the road, but visually there wasn't a great deal happening. But we're right beside an old railway line here, by the Firth of Forth. The sun's out and it's cold, but my God, it's absolutely beautiful. But let's head further on and we'll see exactly what Culross is all about. I mean, the thing about Culross is that the lanes are so narrow and cobbled and what have you that Google's Street View car didn't manage up and doing it. So you won't be able to see this on Google Street View. So I'm going to show you. Brace yourself. Okay, we're at the very edge of the village proper. And what we'll do is we'll just explore the streets. There's not many of them. We'll make our way up and down, to and fro, and we'll peek around a few corners. We'll see how we go. I'll point this camera at where we're going because it's going to be far more interesting than my bonnet. So let's go this way first. I must admit, I have been to Culross before, but when I visit places that I've never been to, I always like to get off the bus or whatever, just at the very edge of the place, not in the middle, because I just like to sort of feel as if I'm arriving there on foot or something, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit strange, it's just, I like to work my way in from the outside. A lovely cobbled street here. On the left here is what is termed Culross palace run by the National Trust for Scotland. I don't think it is actually a palace. I think it was built just as a rather grand house by some guy who did kind of well for himself in the local industry. I can't remember what that industry was or what his name was. It could have been coal, I'm not sure, but it is shut as I expected. I'll show you what it looks like through the gate, then you might be tempted to come back. You might be tempted to come back in the summer. I mean, that is one cracking building. The roof there, that's what you call red pan tiles. And the external coating, I don't know what colour they would call that. It looks orange, to be honest, but it might have some fancy name like King's Gold or something. I mean, the buildings are just stunningly beautiful. Even if places like the Palace are closed, the Culross is without question worth a visit, just for a wee wander around. Externally, the structures and the streets are just wonderful. So where will we go next? Let's have a look. Yeah, absolutely stunning. Beautiful. Right, okay, so let's go up this lane here and see what's up here. You very rarely find such a well preserved cobbled lane or narrow street in the whole of Scotland, in fact. And you very rarely find such a well preserved collection of houses. I mean, a whole village, in fact. It's just very rare and worth its weight in gold, I'll tell you. We're coming up to this tall, thin, white building on the left here is, during the summer, I think, open to the public. But it won't be open just now. It's yeah, it's a lovely building. See, there's one of Culross is festooned with little lanes and wynds. And there's one there, it's called Hag's Wynd. It just sort of goes up there somewhere. That'll be part of a kind of network of paths that go all over the place. Very tempting to follow it, but we'll leave it that for now and just head up here. Okay, so we have actually arrived at what you would call the centre of Culross. We've got the Market Cross there, and a lot of cars which somehow take away from the general atmosphere here. But it is a living, working village. People live here, work here, they've got to park their car somewhere. Got to do all that kind of stuff. Make sure their horn still works and all that sort of thing. Okay, we'll carry on up this lane here, which I think leads to the ruins of church, or I don't think it's an abbey, I'm not sure. In fact, it could be an abbey. So we'll go up here. Absolutely beautiful houses, I'll tell you. The colours of the external facades are just an absolute joy to behold, I'll tell you. The phrase "a joy to behold" is not one I use very often, let me tell you that. Okay, we are in fact going up Tannhouse Brae here. A wee bit steep. And it's not cobbled. You can maybe get a small glimpse of the church. I think maybe it's a church and abbey ruins, or something like that. There's a service on just now in the church, which is a little further up the lane here. So we'll not go in, but I understand there are some very interesting statues inside, so it is worth a visit. Now, what I said earlier on about things being closed was incorrect, because the ruinous part of Culross Abbey is open all year. So let's go in and have a look. Having been in here before, I'm not anticipating very much other than a few ruins. But as I say, it's worth coming up the hill or the brae towards these ruins because of the statues in the church, and also because of the view when you go back down the lane. Oh, there's some stairs there. Yeah, I'm tempted to go up there. Will we go up there? Let's have a look. Okay. Brace yourself. There better be something good at the top, I'll tell you. Oops. Ooh. Oh, lovely, what would you call that? A barrel vaulted ceiling or something like that? I'm not sure. No, no, that's not the term. I can't think of the correct term, but it's lovely whatever it is. As I say, it is just a ruin, but they're tantalising little bits that are fenced off, stairs leading upwards, and you think, ooh, where does that go? But, yeah, lovely. Oh well. And if we look back here, this is the sort of view you're getting over the Firth of Forth. Lovely. There are, in fact, a few other ruinous bits and bobs just a little bit further on, and you can get a look at the church there, which definitely looks more recent. The tower might be a little older, perhaps, than the body of the church, but even the tower is, by the looks of it, not as old as the abbey, unless perhaps the base of the tower was part of the abbey and the upper bit of it has been rebuilt. We're just going back down the brae, the same one that we came up. A little bit of, slight bit of rain there's left the road shiny, for want of a better word. As if someone's been polishing it. Excuse me. And again we're coming up to the Market Cross. Okay, so as I say, we're at the Market Cross. Let's find another little lane to explore. Got a choice. Go that way. Or we can go this way. This way looks more interesting. We'll go this way. Sometimes it's good to go along these lanes in both directions, because you often get a complete... Well, I mean, that's a stupid thing to say. Of course you get a different view when you walk the other way. But, you know, sometimes you can be missing absolutely cracking views if you just do these streets one way. I have to say, the cobbles are absolutely beautiful. Look at that. My God, stunningly beautiful cobbles. If there was no houses, it'd be worth coming here just for the cobbles, I'll tell you. Okay, we've just come down mid-causeway there. Just another quick look back up. Probably the nicest little street in the whole place. And we'll go along this way. There's the red line in there. Watch yourself with cars here. And we'll just go up another little lane, which will take us back to the Market Cross. And that's about it, really. Other than perhaps, well, without question, in fact, all the paths in the area. I mean, you know, we are on the Fife Coastal Path here, but in addition to that, there is, as I mentioned earlier, a very good paths network that's well signposted, and some of them have interesting little information panels that tell you a little bit about local history, perhaps associated with the path. Okay, I'll go up here. I mean, I know my way about here, but if you're here for the first time, there really is nothing nicer than exploring a place that you've never been before. You can peer here, you can peer there, and you wonder what's going to be around every corner. Now, this is called Wee Causeway. So we come down mid-causeway, and this is Wee Causeway. I just love the names of these places. There's a part of me thinks that the cars spoil it a little bit, but as I said earlier, folk do have to live here. Got to have a compromise. And as if by magic, we're back at the Market Cross. So I think as you can see, Culross isn't very big. The longest walk is that one that'll take you up to the Abbey ruins. And you might then think to yourself, well, now what? Well, you can, you know, there's the red line, you can have some beer, some food. There's a cafe I think there's probably sometimes 2 cafes. In fact, I think there's 3 cafes. Let's just have a wee sneaky peek at one of the tantalising lanes here. This one's called Hagstow, just off Black Causeway. And as I say, this one isn't so much part of the paths network in the village, but more just a kind of wind or a lane. But they're seriously attractive lanes, because in addition to the cobbles, you're kind of hemmed in by a substantial wall on either side. So you get they just get a wonderful atmosphere about them. I'm not entirely sure where this one will go, so let's follow it and find out. When I said I'll get the bus back to Kincardine, I think I'll actually nip into the Red Line for a beer. I feel like a wee sit down and a beer. Okay, let's. The path split there, so I was dithering. You can't beat a good dither. Right, oh, goodness me, look. Oh, heavens above. Okay, so this if you're going to follow any of the lines that go up, clearly that one that we just followed there is the way to go, because it offers stunning views over probably most of the village, in addition to what they call the palace, the Firth of Forth. Oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I understand that attached to the palace is a very attractive old garden. Again, I think it's just open. I don't think it's open all the time. Okay, let's go down. This seems to lead down the way. It's just the gardens attached to the palace. We're kind of skirting them. What a lovely little lane. I mean, my God, this is beautiful. So as I think you can see, you could spend quite a bit of time wandering around all these lanes and the paths as well. Because this is January, the ground's still a bit wet. Oh, this is called something else now, look at this. So it's now called Bessie Bar Steps. Wonder why that is. Bessie must have had big legs. These steps are big. Long-legged Bessie, maybe. And here we are, really roughly where we started out. If you remember, we came along this way when we first started exploring. So that's Culross. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. As I say, even without when the palace is closed, the place is without doubt worth a visit. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to go for a beer in the Red Lion, rest my legs, wet my whistle, and anything else that might be required. I'm Eddie Burns. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again.